Nation, this is Nina. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you guys know when I drop my next one. You guys, we are now on chapter 9 of the amended Diddy lawsuit, and I'm going to say that this is simply stunning as we continue to read, and other celebrities have been implicated in this drama. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and here we go. Trigger warning. Plaintiff Ashley P. has struggled with her inability to reconcile her horrible experiences with defendant Diddy and other members of the Diddy enterprise and their outward failure to protect women as members, including women. Plaintiff does live in constant fear and have went through great lengths to protect their lives and identity from discovery of the Diddy enterprise. Plaintiffs come forward now because they believe it is safe to do so due to defendant Diddy's incarceration, charges, and upcoming trial, as well as in support of plaintiff Ashley P. At all relevant times, all defendants were aware of the essential nature and scope of the Diddy case and intended to participate in it. Next section. Second cause of action, violation of Racketeering Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO. Plaintiffs incorporate by reference and reallege each of the preceding paragraphs and all paragraphs below as though fully set forth and brought in case of action. Each defendant agreed to commit the substantive racketeering offenses through agreeing to participate in racketeering acts. Each enterprise member agreed to commit the substantive racketeering offense through agreeing to participate in those acts. I don't know why that was duplicated, but we're going to just keep reading. Each defendant knew the general status of the conspiracy was to enable to cover up defendant Diddy's decades worth of SA. Each enterprise member knew the general status of the conspiracy was to enable and cover up Diddy's decades worth of SAs. Each defendant knew the conspiracy extended beyond their individual role. Each enterprise member knew the conspiracy extended. I don't know why this paragraphs keep repeating. Let's just keep reading down here. As set forth above, each defendant agreed and conspired to violate U.S. Section 18, 1962C, specifically in an effort to enable, further, protect, aid, secrete, and cover up each of defendant Diddy's SAs. Diddy's pattern and practice of SA, holding people against their will, and other crimes against plaintiffs. The defendant agreed to engage in each of the predicate offenses identified above. Defendants knew their predicate acts were part of a pattern of racketeering activity and agreed to the commission of those acts to further the scheme described above, constituting a conspiracy to violate USC Section 18, 1962C, in violation of that said number. Next section. Third cause of action, Civil Code 1708.5, battery. Plaintiffs against defendants Diddy, Shane, Odell, Druski, and Valdez. Plaintiff incorporates by reference and realleges each of the preceding paragraphs and all paragraphs below as though fully set forth and brought in this cause of action. Defendants committed acts with the intent to cause a harmful offensive contact with an intimate part of plaintiff. The SAs were unwanted contact with plaintiff directly resulted from defendant said acts. Defendant Diddy exploited his position of authority to intimidate, overwhelm, and subdue plaintiffs with the assistance of defendant Shane, KK, Odell, Brandy, and Druski. Objections to his conduct would be met with retaliation. Defendant Diddy abused his position of power and authority over plaintiff Ashley P., who was in no position to reject his SA due to her being physically outnumbered, unable to vacate the premises because she was pharmaceutical, and having her clothes, purse, cell phone, and keys hidden from her. Defendant Diddy abused his position of power and authority over plaintiff John Doe, who was in no position to reject his SA due to him being physically outnumbered, unable to vacate the premises because he was also pharmaceutical and held against his will, and having his cell phone and keys hidden from him. Defendant Valdez abused his position of power and authority over plaintiff Jane Doe, who was in no position to reject his SA due to her being physically outnumbered, unable to vacate the premises because she was pharmaceutical, held against her will, and having her cell phone and keys hidden from her. Defendant Shane, Diddy, Odell, and Druski's battery on plaintiff caused physical injury, severe mental emotional distress, pain and suffering, mental anguish, and loss of enjoyment of life. Defendants' unlawful actions were intentional and done with malice and or showed a deliberate, willful, wanton, and reckless indifference to plaintiff's rights. Plaintiff claims compensatory and punitive damages herein. The amount of damages sought herein exceeds the jurisdictional limits of all other courts which would otherwise have jurisdiction. Next section. Fourth cause of action, California Civil Code 340.16, SA. Plaintiff Ashley Parham against defendants Diddy, Shane, Odell, and Druski. Plaintiff incorporates by reference and realleges each of the proceedings, paragraphs and all paragraphs below, as though fully set forth and brought in this cause of action. Defendants touched an intimate part of plaintiff against her will for SA, gratification, and other means. Defendants committed said act against plaintiff will by means of force, pharmaceutical, and other terms of duress, menace, and fear of immediate bodily harm. Defendant's conduct placed plaintiff in a reasonably apprehension of bodily harm. Defendant's action caused plaintiff to fear retaliation in the future, and there was a reasonable possibility that defendant, specifically Diddy, could execute on threat of said retaliation. Defendant's SA on plaintiff caused physical injury and severe mental and emotional distress, pain and suffering, mental anguish, and loss of enjoyment of life. Defendants' unlawful actions were intentional, done with malice and or a deliberate, willful, wanton, reckless indifference to plaintiff's rights. Defendants conspired to and did engage in a cover-up or attempted a cover-up of previous instances or allegations of SA by defendant Diddy. Newly enacted CCP 340.16, effective January 1st of 2023, is the covering of California state statute, extending the statute of limitations and granting revival of a plaintiff's claims, seeking to recover damages suffered as a result of SA that occurred on plaintiff. The amount of damages sought herein exceeds the jurisdictional limits of all other courts which would otherwise have jurisdiction. Next section, fifth cause of action, California Civil Code 51.9, harassment. Plaintiffs Ashley P. against defendants Diddy, Shane, Odell, and Druski. Plaintiff incorporate by reference and realleges each of the proceedings, paragraphs, and all paragraphs below, as though fully set forth and brought this cause of action. Defendants made advances, solicitations, and requests of adult behavior, as well as compliance by plaintiff, as well as engaged in other verbal, visual, or physical conduct of adult nature or of a hostile nature based on plaintiff's gender, all of which were unwelcome and pervasive or severe. Defendants intentionally, recklessly, and wantonly acts resulted in a harmful and offensive contact with the intimate parts of plaintiff's persons. Defendant Diddy specifically used his authority to coerce and exploit defendant Shane into luring plaintiff to his home so that defendant Diddy could physically, psychologically, and or emotionally, through force, manipulation, emotional abuse, intimidation, and retaliation abuse of plaintiff. These acts were done for Diddy's own gratification. Plaintiff has suffered economic loss or disadvantage and or personal injury, including but not limited to emotional distress, as a result of defendant's conduct. As a result of defendant's unlawful conduct, plaintiff is entitled to said actual damages and explanatory damages pursuant to California Civil Code Section 52, Subdivision B, in the amount to be awarded at trial. Next section, 6 cause of action and battery, plaintiff against all defendants. Plaintiff incorporates by reference and realleges each of the proceedings paragraphs and all paragraphs below as though fully set forth and brought in cause of action. Defendants intended to commit and committed acts of unwanted contact with plaintiff. Defendants Diddy, Shane, Odell, and Druski committed unwanted contact with plaintiff Ashley Parham in a harmful and offensive manner, including but not limited to by inflicting SA against plaintiff. Among other batteries, defendant KK and Brandy abused plaintiff Ashley without her consent and without equality. Defendants Pelletier, Gonzalez, Valdez, Helena, and Jaguar committed unwanted contact with plaintiffs Does in a harmful and offensive manner, including but not limited to by inflicting severe physical abuse against plaintiff. Defendants Diddy committed unwanted contact with plaintiff John Doe in a harmful and offensive manner, including but not limited to by inflicting SA against plaintiff. Defendant Diddy exploited his position and status to intimidate, overwhelm, and subdue plaintiff. Any objections to his conduct would be met with retaliation, not only by plaintiff, but by other defendants involved. Defendant Diddy abused his position of power and influence over plaintiff Ashley P. and John Doe, who were in no position to reject his advances. We are going to end chapter 9 right here, and we will begin with chapter 10 shortly. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, be safe and enjoy your day. Bye, guys.